Hi, everyone. Nice to see you this morning. Welcome to Malaspina Theater. You're in the right mood today. Audience, you get to be engaged this morning in our final Arts and Humanities Colloquium of this semester. Arts and Humanities Colloquia started in 2009, and since then we've been welcoming scholars and researchers, and today students who all undertake various angles with their creative scholarship. The Arts and Humanities Colloquium today is presented in this beautiful venue on the traditional territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation, right here at Vancouver Island University. I'm Eliza Gardner, and I'm part of the committee that is run by Bryn Skibo and is supported by the Dean of Arts and Humanities. So thank you, committee, and our wonderful Dean for all your work. Let's applaud again. So in the colloquium, we get presentations that cross the span of the disciplines. And today, it's my pleasure to welcome my colleague, Leon Potter, and his consideration of a prevalent theme in the arts. In Leon's presentation this morning, he'll question what is the appropriate use of AI in the arts? Is it a barrier, Leon asks? Is it a threat? Or is it a great tool? You get to consider this, audience, as you see 3 different short plays presented by volunteer students from the Theatre Diploma program. This presentation is in partnership also with our creative writing department. Students there have helped generate, using their human minds, 2 of the shows, and one of the plays is generated by a non-human, by artificially generated. And so it's your goal to enjoy the presentation and to consider while watching which one you think was written by people and which one you think was written by the machine. You get to discuss this after the show in a dynamic question and answer period. We really want to get you involved in the discussion. Leon has been working here in the theater department for a good 20 years. He got his training at the University of Victoria, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and King's College. Leon melds his set design, his acting, and his directing knowledge here in this presentation that also features some young talent. Please welcome Leon Potter.
Hello, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for the introduction, Eliza. Wonderful. And welcome all of you. So to give you a little bit of brief background, 2.5 years ago, my colleague Ross Bray came back from a trip and said, have you heard about this thing? And it was Chat GPT3. And he was talking about, well, what, I plug this in and then suddenly it's coming up with scripts and it's writing stuff. So, well, that's interesting, okay. And inside, that was the first time I'd actually heard the term in the concept of open AI and the idea of artificial intelligence. I've known about the idea of artificial intelligence mostly because science fiction movies have been warning us about these for years, right? But we got together, so Craig from the creative writing department and myself got together and we started talking about, wouldn't it be interesting to put something together to see if we can generate a discussion around the value of this? So that was 2 years ago. And the script that we came up with, which was fascinating because I actually had it written, I won't say I wrote it, but I had it written while in Craig's class. And I plugged in a prompt, and I'll never forget, Craig was sitting next to me, he looks over and he's like, oh shit. It just watches as streams of text just start appearing all the way through. This has actually become commonplace now. Chat GPT3 was rough, it was clunky, it was the sort of the original Volkswagen Beetle of the artificial intelligence idea. It worked, it ran, but you had to kind of like kick it a little bit and move it around and whatnot. Back then, the script that I got was fairly repetitive, didn't need a lot of tweaking, but there was definitely some stuff there. This time, we used one of the other ones. I don't even remember which one at this point. And the script that came out, because of course, the growth of AI has been exponential. The script that came out inside of 45 seconds was complete with character descriptions, stage directions, this, that, and the other thing. It was absolutely unbelievable. And I was like, because when we first did it, one of the things we discussed was, wouldn't this be interesting to redo in a couple of years to see if it would work and see what kind of discussion it would generate. So the question is, what is the place of AI in the arts, right? Does it have a place? Is it a tool? Is it a menace? Where are we headed with this, right? One of the greatest quotes I heard was, I don't want AI to draw pictures and write stories for me so I can do my dishes and do my laundry. I want AI to do my laundry and my dishes so that I can write stories and do the art that I want. I love that. Thought that actually made a lot of sense. Today's performances. In your programs, as you can see, today's performances were taken on by a directing student of mine, Jay McDonnell, who is right over there. Jay will be joining us afterwards for the question and answer, along with all the actors. You will notice in your programs, of course, I do not have the playwrights' names in the program. So we have 3 shows. We have one written by artificial intelligence. We have one written by one of our creative writing students, and we have one that was actually a published piece. Yes. Okay? So the question to you is, which one is which? Can you tell? So we'll show we'll do the 3 shows. At the end of that, we'll have a question and answer period, and we will vote, and we will see which ones are which. Are we ready?
Yes.
Excellent. Without further ado,
It's a public park. Wednesdays and Saturdays, always 4:30. You buy the bread from the corner store first. Are you following me? Tell me. Why? I needed to be sure. Sure of what? That you were real? That you still exist? I think you have me confused with someone else. David Michael Harrison, born April 12, 1981, in Minneapolis. Worked as a civil engineer until 3 years ago. Used to have a cabin at home. I'm sorry, who are you? My name is Maya. My mother is Captain Walsh. Kathy? She didn't tell you, but I did a DNA test 6 months ago. There you were. I mean, we were only together for 2 months, like 20 years ago. She didn't tell you. I know. Does she know you're here? No. Why now? Because she got remarried and he doesn't want a kid in the picture and the house just feels like it's shrinking and, maybe I just thought that I can't help you. I'm not asking for... I don't have anything. No family. No. Nothing worth finding. You're here. Barely. I have been watching you feed these ducks for a week. You come at the same time, by the same bread, sit at the same bench. You exist in patterns. That's not nothing. It's just routine. It's something to do. It's showing up even when you don't want to. That's not nothing. Your mother? How is she? She's okay. She's made her choice. Oh, and you're here because she chose wrong. I'm here because I chose myself, and that meant finding you. I have a family, a wife, a daughter. Be about your age now. Car accident 3 years ago last month. I know, sorry. How do you know? The internet, obituaries. I know you sold your habit. I know you quit your job. I know you just stopped. And you still wanted to find me. Yeah. Why? Because I keep making terrible choices. I keep ending up around people who wouldn't care if I disappeared tomorrow, and maybe I just thought that if I found someone who was supposed to care, that maybe I'd start caring about myself. What kind of terrible choices? The kind where you wake up not remembering how you got home, where your friends are friends, they're just people who are also drowning. Hiya, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm trying. You can't. I can't lose another daughter. I'm not going. You don't know that. People say that, and then they. I have been watching you for a week, trying to make sure that you were worth finding. I'm not going to vanish now. I don't know how to do this. Me neither. I don't know if I have anything to offer you. You're here. That's all I need. Do you like ducks? I don't know. I never really thought about it before. Want to find out? Sure. This is nice. It's just ducks. No, it's patterns, routine, like you said. Would you come back Saturday? Same time? Same bench? I'll bring extra bread? Sure. Oh, Maya? Yeah? Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for being here to find.
You wish to see me?
Yes?
Well, what can I do for you?
Give me back my husband.
Give you back your husband?
Yes. You're wondering which one he is. He's a blonde man, not very tall. He wears spectacles. He's a lawyer. Your manager's lawyer. Alfred is his first name.
Oh, I have met him, yes.
I know you have. I implore you, give him back to me.
Apologies, you must mistake my silence for embarrassment. I am at a loss because I don't quite see how I can give you back your husband when I haven't got him to give.
You just admitted that you knew him.
That scarcely implies that I have taken him from you. Of course I know him. He drew my last contract. And seems to me I've seen him once or twice since then backstage. A well-spoken, fair-haired individual. Did you say he wore spectacles?
Yes.
I don't remember him with spectacles.
He probably took them off. He wanted to look his best to you. He's in love with you. He doesn't take them off when I'm around. He doesn't care how he looks when I'm around. He doesn't love me. I implore you, give him back to me.
If you weren't such a very foolish young woman, I should be very upset with you. But wherever did you get the idea that I've taken your husband from you?
He sends you flowers all the time.
Well, that's not true.
It is.
It isn't. He hasn't sent me a flower in all his life. Did he tell you I did?
No, I found out at the florist. Flowers are sent to your dressing room twice a week and charged to him.
Well, that's a lie.
Do you mean to say that I'm lying?
I mean to say someone is lying to you.
What about this letter?
Letter?
He wrote to you. He said...
He wrote to me, let me see him!
No! I'll read it to you. My darling, shan't be able to call for you at the theater tonight. Urgent business. Mrs. Alfred.
Oh,
Found it on his desk this morning. He probably intended to send it to the theater by messenger, but he didn't. And I opened it.
oh, you mustn't cry.
Why wasn't I? You steal my husband and I mustn't cry. You know how little this means to you, how easy it is for you. One night you dress like a royal prince, and the next night you undress like a Greek god. You blacken your eyebrows, and you redden your lips, and you wax your lashes, you have cosmetics and bright lights to make you seem beautiful. Author's lines to make you seem witty and wise. I wonder a poor, simple-minded lawyer falls in love with you. What chance have I got against you in my cheap little frock, my own lips and eyebrows, my own unstudied ways? I don't know how to strut and pose and lure a man. I haven't got Mr. Shakespeare to write beautiful speeches for me. In reality, you may be more stupid than I am, but I'll admit that when it comes to alluring men, I'm no match for you.
This is a very interesting case.
What is?
Yours!
Mine? What do you mean?
I mean, I never received a flower or a letter or anything of the sort from your husband. Tell me, haven't you and your husband been getting rather cold of late?
Why, yes.
Oh, you used to be so affectionate towards each other.
Yes, of course.
And of late, you've been quite cold.
Yes.
Of course, a typical case, my dear. It appears your husband is playing a little comedy to revive your interest in him.
Do you really think that? Do you mean to say such a thing has happened to you before?
Oh, endless times. It happens to any actor who is moderately pretty and somewhat successful. Oh, it's one of the oldest expediences in the world. Oh, there's scarcely a man connected to the theater who doesn't make use of us from time to time. Oh, orchestral leaders, designers, lawyers, even the managers themselves use us to revive a lover's or sweetheart's affection. Usually we don't know a thing about it, but even when it's brought to our attention, we don't mind so much. At least we have the constellation of knowing we have the means of making many a marriage happy, which will have otherwise ended in the little Morse chords.
But how? How can I know?
You couldn't have known, of course. It seems so plausible to you. You imagine your husband in an atmosphere of perpetual temptation, in the backstage world full of silence, without scruples or morals. One actor you suppose is more dangerous than 100 ordinary men or women. None understand that better than your husband, who is evidently a very cunning lawyer. Oh, he leaves a letter out so you can find it. Trust a lawyer to not do that unwittingly. Oh, he orders flowers from me by telephone in the morning and promptly cancels the order the moment he reaches his office. Tell me, haven't you a lock of my hair?
Yes, in his desk drawer.
Yes.
Oh, with me.
Yes, they dried my hair just to steal it from me. It's a wonder I have any hair left at all.
Is that how he got it?
I can't imagine how else. Tell me, have you found any of my love letters lying around?
No.
Oh, don't be alarmed, I haven't written in any.
Then what made you?
I might have if you had come to me and said, "Oh, say, Stefan, my wife and I aren't getting on so well. Would you mind writing a passionate love letter for me so I may leave it lying about where she may find it?" I certainly would have. Oh, I would have written a love letter that would make you weep into your pillow for a fortnight. I got 10 like it for a very influential playwright once, but he had no luck with it. His wife was such a proper person, she would turn them all to him unread.
How clever you are! How good!
I'm neither clever nor worse than any other guy or gal in the theater, even though you do consider us such monsters.
I've been a perfect fool.
Well, you do look a bit silly sitting there with tears in your eyes and your face flushed with happiness, because a little blonde man with spectacles loves you. No man desires to be adored as much as he.
Yeah.
Now then, let me give you a parting bit of advice. Don't let him fool you like this again.
He won't, never.
What you might find in his pockets, my photograph, handkerchiefs. No matter what letters he sends or appointments he makes, don't be taken aback for a second.
You can be sure of that. And you won't say anything to him about my coming here, will you?
Oh, not a word. I'm very angry with him for not to come to me frankly, to use my name the way he did.
You're a dear. I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, you mustn't begin to cry all over again.
You just made me so happy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Alfred. You can come out now.
She's gone!
Please come in. Welcome to my office.
Nice office, Doc. Real cozy.
I'm glad you feel that way, David. Important to have an environment who's safe opening up in.
Safe spaces. Huh.
It's something that's always existed. We've just found a nice name for it in recent years. Now, obviously, we don't have to dive in right away, as they say. The first meeting is always to get to know each other, and for me to understand why you're here, your long-term goals for counseling, and how the pacing of the sessions will go.
Yeah, well, I heard you specialized in grief therapy.
Yes, I do. Grief counseling is one of the fields I specialize in. Were you referred by another patient of mine?
Not a patient, no.
Oh, I see. Well, losing someone you love can be a very traumatic event. I won't push you to go into details today if you're uncomfortable, but I need you to know that I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. Everything you say in this room is strictly confidential. You can trust me.
Thanks, Doc. I really needed to hear that today. Guys like me in therapy, what will everyone else think?
Guys like you? What do you mean by that, Damien?
Cops. Well, ex-cops. I was bragging a few years ago, but, we're not really the most chatty bunch in their feelings.
I see. How long were you in the force for?
A little over a decade. Spent the last stretch as a detective.
It's a long career, Damien.
Yeah. Many friends, many favors.
It can be hard. Leaving an institution like that can be fracturing of self-identity.
Oh, no. I wasn't forced out. Detectives don't have body cams to turn off. My track record was clean, consistent. I left on my own accord because, I didn't seem to have the pull I needed to make changes in the city.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's say a coworker of yours, another doctor who took the same oath as you, do no harm, to promote the healing and well-being of their clients, and to place said interest clients above their own at all times, to provide a safe, trusting haven for them. Now, let's say this coworker of yours has been abusing their practice, and from that malpractice, has murdered several patients just for the joy of it. Now I get called onto the scene. Put them in cuffs, they stand trial with some Botox-filled lawyer from a firm with their name on it, and they get sentenced to 10 years in some concrete Shangri-La, released in 7 for good behavior. Is that just?
What would you do if you were put in that situation now, as a PI?
Would I have to? I'm not really good at talking about stuff.
That's okay.
I see a lot of rough stuff every day. Lots of guys doing my line of work. Some guys drink, others smoke. There's a guy in robbery homicide who does yoga in his office. And I never had to do all that. My tolerance for rough stuff was set pretty high, right at the beginning. I'm used to it, What does that say about me?
How do you mean?
I've hurt people. Hell, I made a living off it now. An argument could be made that they had it coming, but it's second nature to me. I don't even think about what needs to be done. I just do it.
How does that make you feel?
I feel nothing. It's just part of the job. Any rationale I have to come up with. But bottom line, it is to me what breathing is to you. And that disgusts me.
Please, tell me more.
How can someone like that, someone with all that in their soul, ever deserve happiness or even some quiet?
Damien, thank you for opening up. That took an immense amount of courage, and I hope you at the very least give yourself more credit. I think that with what you've been through, stopping to think and really assess the absurdity unfolding in front of you is a luxury that you've never had. Slowing down in those environments, especially the one in which you work at, can be the difference between life and death. As a result, I suspect that you have registered all of these horrible things you've seen and continue to see as nothing of note. It's a survival tactic, one that has served you well, Katie. I say what I say not as an official diagnosis, but to tell you that this isn't permanent. You can heal from this. And if you're willing to let me help you, I would be honored to do so.
Someone dear to me once said that there are thousands of techniques and protocols for counseling, but at its core, it's just the trust and support from someone who believes in you. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do. On one hand, the pillars in which my practice rests on are empathy and trust, but I'd like to think I didn't go through 8 years of schooling for nothing. Who is this person to you?
My sister.
Please tell me about her.
We were the only 10-year-olds in that group home. No one younger. The rest were all 16 or 17 years old on their way out. And, because of that, naturally we got picked on and naturally we stuck together. We were inseparable. I made it this far because of her. And by definition, she was the only family I ever had.
And where is she now?
Laid out on a slab with her ribs cracked open.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's hard losing someone you love.
I didn't lose her, Doc. She was taken from me.
Did someone hurt her?
Someone did. Someone she trusted. You never asked me what her name was, Doc.
What was her name, Damien?
Her name was Lillian Davis.
Okay, hold on. This is entirely inappropriate. There's an active investigation still going on, Damien. You just
never
shut it! I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
I'm not going anywhere, Doc. And neither are you. Sit down!
Damien, think about this for a second. Think about what you're doing here. You're a PI with police experience. If I was who you were looking for, I could have manipulated you into covering up for these horrible, horrible atrocities, these favors mentioned. Whatever you think happened to your sister, I had nothing to do with. Damien, you are experiencing an episode right now. Reality is skewed for you. You suffer a heavy loss. I am a doctor. I can help you, but I need you to put the gun down now.
Establish rapport with the subject through empathy and garner influence to shift behavior towards a positive outcome. Sound familiar? Yeah, the behavioral change stairway. I used to teach recruits that. You never know when you have to talk down to a loony with a hostage. Irony. Anyways, went to uni. Good.
How did you know this?
What I do.
Please, Damien, I have a family.
So did I.
Well, bring her back. Think about her family, your friends, people who depend on you. How will you do right by them behind bars? Please, we can talk about this.
I'll extend to you the same courtesy I give all the other miscreants who find themselves in your situation. There is not a scenario where you leave this room alive. The quicker you accept that, the easier this will be for you.
Please, I'm sorry.
Lily, being in my life, felt like the world was trying to make amends with me. She was my redemption. You took that away from me.
I have children, Damien.
Session's over. Doctor.
Please!
Thank you very much. I'd also like to take this moment to invite Jay, who is the director of the show. Lexa, who is our sound designer over there, is going to be running around with the microphone. And of course, the actors, you guys want to do a quick introduction of who you are?
I'm Nathan.
There we go.
I'm Escalated.
I'm Zoe.
Yes, we have our two ASMs. If they would like to poke their heads up.
And of course, we have lighting designer and stage manager up in the booth as well. So here comes the question. Two of these were written by human beings. One was written by somebody in the audience. You want to give us a wave? There you go. And one was written by artificial intelligence. So, out of curiosity, this one is referred to as a matter of husbands. Just a quick show of hands. Who thinks that this was the one that was written by AI? 1, 2, keep going. 3, excellent. Catharsis, written by AI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many? 11. Very good. Duck pond. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So, majority thinks that Catharsis was written by artificial intelligence. Which one did you write? Catharsis. There you go. The playwright of Catharsis is sitting right here, very human. Matter of Husbands was written by.
I wrote this down.
You wrote this down. You're going
Yes.
to use those.
Yes. Matter of Husbands was written by a Hungarian playwright in 1923, and then translated later into English. It was written by, I'm going to butcher this name, Frederick Molnar.
We'll call it that. That's good. That'd be great. So not Matter of Husbands, not Catharsis. Duck Pond was in fact written by AI in approximately 45 seconds. With 2 prompts. Fascinating though, isn't it? Do we want to bring some house lights up, please? Right? It begs the question, and this is where we want to open it up to all of you. It begs the question, what is the role of artificial intelligence inside of the arts? Right? First off, how did you find directing these? Did you approach them differently?
I think I approached it differently than I would a normal show, just because I knew we were using AI. So when I was trying to find a published one, I liked that it was translated, because things get lost in translation all the time. So it didn't feel quite as genuine as if a human had written it.
Right.
And then Catharsis, I just really liked it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Catharsis actually we picked last. So we already had DuckCon and Matter of Cousins chosen. And then I liked that everything kind of was different. There wasn't really consistency in themes. So it also made it harder because you're not comparing them as much theme-wise.
Excellent. All right. Does anybody have any questions, queries, thoughts? Is anybody here willing to admit that they go to AI occasionally? Yes.
Well, I was fooled because I thought AI would, especially when you would pick, would be even more complicated. And I would like to really know. So I thought that had been written by AI, the last one. So I'd like to know what the question was to prompt AI to come up with DuckCon. That's actually been my question in my head all the time.
What was the prompt?
Because you only get an answer that's as good as the question.
Okay.
That's my question.
So the prompt that I came up with was I wanted to create I asked it to create a play around a reuniting of father with an estranged daughter. That was the start. And then from there, it gave me something. Interestingly enough, the AI that I was using, which is called Lightboard, before it wrote anything, asked me questions. And I thought that was fascinating. It asked me, well, where's she coming from? Where's he coming from? What kind of, where do you see this happening? And that was actually really interesting to me. And that was one of the biggest differences because 2 years ago, I said, write a play about this. It went, here's one. Without thinking about it. I don't want to say thinking because it's kind of a trigger point with this, but it was fascinating because I put in the prompt and it thought about it and went, okay, well, where's she coming from? What's her backstory? Okay, where's he coming from? What's his backstory? Right? And it started out and it became a bit of a dialogue for all of 5 minutes and then came out with that. And I went, okay.
It seems to me to make it a fair comparison that all three should have started with the same information. How so? Well, the playwright should have been given the same prompt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that way you're comparing. Okay, how does a human being respond to this, and how does the AI respond to it?
Yeah. So
the only way I chose that one is because of the language.
Yes.
This one I thought that was written by Noel Coward.
Yeah.
And part of that comes from the translation, I think, which makes it kind of a heighted distance language. This one just, to me, it sounded like a student play. Just the subject matter and the way that it moved along.
Okay.
It just seems to me to be more fair comparison if they all started with the same information.
For the next one. Give everybody the same prompt. See what we'll come up with. Fascinating. Yes.
I think for me, the DuckCon, that it was the one that I chose as AI, is missing the element that I always feel is missing from AI, which is the truth of human emotion. And for me, the daughter-father interaction, yes, it was happening, but there was that thing that was missing about the truth of that interaction would have some kind of underbelly of hurt, distance, pain, anguish, and AI doesn't do that for me ever.
Yeah, fascinating. No, and that's great.
Yeah, I think building on what the last 3 people have said, I also picked the Duck Hunt because the story was such a well-worn old story. No offense to your prompts, but
I didn't write it. So.
No, but I mean, it was such, that story has been told a million times.
Yes.
Whereas The Matter of Husbands had a beautiful twist and was created, and I think as this lady over here said, had that underbelly. And moving to how you might use AI, I think the only way I could see using it is I'm a retired teacher, and if I were looking for a Christmas play that would involve all of my students, and I said, write me something that has 5 elves and 6 Santas and, that lasts the 5 minutes I'm allotted to be on stage with all the rest of the school, AI would have done a really good job because the parents would just go all over it because the kids were acting and they wouldn't care that it was a crap story.
Right. Interesting.
That was the other thing. Sorry, it was just, I don't think AI was capable of creating the twist that happened in both of those.
Yes. That's actually an interesting one. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to go back to the idea of lacking depth of human emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm then going to go back to my question, which was, what was the prompt? I believe, and I've seen it become very, very emotive.
Mm-hmm.
Write this in the style of Michael and Dutch.
Okay.
Write this in the style of Margaret Atwood.
Yeah.
Or Stephen King. And it still stinks in some ways.
Yeah.
But it begins to give the artist, you,
Mm-hmm.
an idea. And I have been shocked to see how emotive it is.
Yeah.
It's really about the depth of questioning and the continual pushing, because it has all of what's written at its disposal. It is you writ large.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Interesting. If I can add to that just a little bit as well, there's a second translation, of course, that happens, which is the translation from the text through the actor, right? Because the actor is going to take the words and make them their own as best they can. And that's going to be based on their own experiences, their own talents and skills and whatnot. So, hang on.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting too. I think part of the reason when you talk about prompts is that you are someone who is trained to provide good prompts to write a play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a piece of it as well. If you and I both did it at the same time, I think your play would be better because you are a trained actor, director, and I'm not. So in terms of prompts, right, I think that can play a role as well.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Maybe.
but also I just noticed through the whole thing that I had a different feeling as an audience member. I was not, just knowing that I was that someone was trying to trick me. That's how I felt.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So I just was noticing that, right? And so I felt like there was a different connection to what was happening on stage and the acting. Because I was kind of like, I don't know, acting is not, it's the idea of sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes seeing a play feels very sincere, and this time I was like questioning everyone's sincerity.
Yeah, absolutely.
My fault.
Absolutely. Ward, did you have something?
Yeah, I guess it gets down to your question is, what's the purpose of art? Like,
Okay.
the purpose, and in this medium especially, which is dear to me, which is theater, is not just to tell a story. It's to tell our stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's to filter through our own humanity and mash out these stories as best as we can as human beings. And I think when we talk about the purpose of artificial intelligence, that the lady who spoke about bringing that play from those children, I think that's a fantastic use for that. I mean, right. But when it comes to this sort of a thing, where we are presenting it out to the public to reflect our humanity and to teach and to provoke and to entertain and all that, I believe it, for me, should and not be a mishmash of everything writ large, condensed down into an answer to a bunch of prompts, no matter how clever.
Also, a really good opportunity for a shameless plug. Ward has a show going on at the OB tonight and tomorrow, I believe.
And
Sunday. Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday called David's Double.
Highly recommend.
worth going to see. Great.
Yeah, I think the idea too of knots, to me, I have to read a lot of scripts and some are coming in, obviously, AI. There's a smoothness to duck quantum. There's, in the other two scripts, there are knots. There are strange human moments. There is a line, the master's about a body camera. There's stuff that hints at that part of us as human artists that doesn't always make sense. It is a knot. It's unpickable. There's nice moments that cannot be explained away, that stick in your mind. The sheer weirdness of the backstage theater piece. So more and more, as I read through scripts a lot of the time, my tip-off to AI is this smooth sheen, both in terms of language and in subject matter, where something is achieved, but it's done without these great lasting knots that have to be unpicked by humans that are in works like Asher's work, and like the translated plays. That's what I see.
That's actually fascinating, yeah. But I mean, if that's some of the things that we're looking for, and some of the things that we're asking for, because this is 2 years in, right? That's 2 years in. Do you think that's at risk? Do you think there is an opportunity, or do you think that AI will get to a point where it will be able to mimic those knots and imperfections and twists in plot lines? Yes?
Yeah, just following up on that, I think, I didn't put my hand up, but I felt Duckpound was the AI generated play. And I think that there's not the ability for AI at this point maybe to understand the depth of human experience and emotion. And that's the thing that triggered it for me. But the thing that I've been wondering is, was the director blinded to which play was which?
So,
because I think directing could make a big difference in how things are presented.
My cast and crew, we knew right from the beginning which one was which, but often we forgot. And you can even ask the cast at different points, they were like, which one was the AI one again? And I often forgot as well. So we treated them all as if they were equal, because we wanted to give all of them a fair shot. There were, for the comments of like adding the twists and stuff, I changed some things. The only one I didn't change was Duck Pond, and that's because we tried making the characters older and that just didn't fit. Nathan was originally supposed to be a woman. So instead we've got a wonderful, flamboyant, over-the-top actor, which we love. And then we even had to play with her thesis with having 2 female characters and how that would change the dynamic and everything like that. And then we went back to what had originally been written with Damien being a male character. So again, it's also like kind of up to the director. What do they want to kind of alter? How are they seeing it? Kind of not just how the actors are translating things as well.
I just want to respond to what you're saying about, you can feed into it, and I think this might be the biggest danger in creating art through it is we can say write it in the style of Michael Ondaatje, William Shakespeare. That to me is the most dangerous thing because it takes away the voice of the playwright.
Yeah.
And that individual, creative, internal human thing. But as soon as we start asking it to use other influences, then the playwright themselves is being that much more distant from the process, and it's less artistic.
It also won't always get it right either. I remember one of the first things that I played with when we started doing all of this was write Shakespeare's next sonnet. Right? And it gave it a shot. It was garbage, but it threw something out there without any hesitation.
You've indicated the curve from 2 years ago to now say Chat GPT3, which is very powerful, which would not necessarily write that Duck Pond if I feel say me giving it a prompt. It's so capable. And I think the danger is everything you say. That it may not be you because you want to look at yourself in the mirror and you accept that prize, right?
Yeah.
Well, I want it written in my style.
Exactly. And you want to be honest to everyone, including yourself.
Yeah.
But the possibility is endless, and someone will do that, and they are doing it. And I'm not sure maybe people here in writing probably know already. You know, Op 1 signed a declaration. You know, no cameras were made in this painting. No AI was used.
No AI was used in this.
No AI was used other than as a thesaurus in this book.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line, turns of phrases?
Turn phrase.
So I think we're
Grammar.
there. I think we're actually there now. We've crossed the threshold.
We have, and the question is how do we, now it's managing, which is really, really intriguing.
It's a little bit different, but you know, this meta creation, right? Currently, there are millions of songs being removed from Spotify because they were meta created and they're not actually written by a person. And they're trying to come up with how do we categorize this, and do we have to say this was created in cooperation with some kind of meta form, right? And same with a playwright. So if you took Duck Pond and you got that first prompt and something got spat out, and then I, as the playwright, sit for days, weeks, months, and rework that idea, is it now my play? This is the crux.
And this is where, but this is where it becomes interesting.
And can I imbue that emotion, that twist, that whatever,
Yeah.
and then say, this is my play?
Does it become a collaboration?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Do you have to say, I have collaborated with Brock?
But that's right, like right now, that is not happening. People are just saying, this is my book, this is my play, this is my song.
Yeah.
And it's being sung and sounds as good as a song that I'm just currently releasing a song. So it's as good as a song that took me years and months to create with other collaborators.
Mm-hmm.
And here someone has thrown a bit of a poem or just an idea, and there's other, you know, things that create music, has spat out a song that is good enough to put on Spotify and have a tour.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well,
looking
that,
for artists to
a month and a half ago, we had the first AI generated actor showed up at the film festival.
Yeah.
Who now the agents in LA are fighting over who gets to represent them. Right? And yeah, shocking. Craig?
Yeah, I think we're heading, at least from what I hear in the professional scriptwriting world, to hybridization, as it's just being discussed, also curation. So for sitcoms, you'll say, give me 30 versions, write 5 of them in the style of, or one in the style of Philip Roth, write one in the style of Seinfeld, and then you'll have this massive information that people quickly pick through, Frankenstein together something. Is that writing? Is that what writing is becoming? Is hybridization and curation the same as creation from the ground up? I don't know. That's very much how it's being used.
Yeah. Interesting. Pretty.
I have a question for the actors. So Jay, the director, mentioned that you guys sometimes forgot which play was the AI and which one was. To me, I picked Duck Pond because of the language. The language of A Matter of Husbands was so rich. There's so much happening, and the both of you did such a nice job in like making that language breathe. And then in Catharsis, aside from the subject matter, there's like just little delightful twists in it that Craig mentioned were not. And so I feel like Duck Pond, it was, Craig said it was smooth. I felt like it was flat. So for everybody up on stage, did you sometimes forgot, but did you also sometimes feel a difference in the language that you were speaking, especially for people who went across the plays?
One thing I'll say, is that I was only in A Matter of Husbands. I'm not in either of the other two, and because of all the rehearsals, usually it would be like one play would go for like the entire rehearsal process, and then next week another play would happen. It was kind of like a day-in thing. So oftentimes when it wasn't Matter of Husbands, I wasn't there to watch the creative process. So I never really, I kind of only heard which play was which when the actors would go, man, I gotta learn these lines. They're very repetitive sometimes. Well, man, why am I an old man? Like I would just hear bits and pieces of people like talking about that play, kind of like struggles and having to do multiple things because it's also like you have to do 2 plays. But I kind of just heard from other actors, and then like I saw it a few times when we were up here doing our performances, and I'm kind of just laying here flamboyantly going, man, which one was it again? I think it was that one. I don't know.
for me, since I was the old man in Duck Pond, I was in another one, obviously. I didn't really have a hard time, like, remembering because it was personally really hard to figure out how to play old man in an AI written script. Because I am not an old man. So it was just really hard, like, because there wasn't emotion in it really, and the prompts for like the stage directions and stuff like that, there weren't many, so it was really just hard to remember, like, not remember, but figure out how to play it. So I personally didn't have a hard time remembering which was which, but I can see how like people going between them would have a hard time.
I found it that I would always get confused and think that Matter of Husbands was the AI written one because of the dialogue, and mostly because it was a French play from a Hungarian playwright written in the 1920s, and all the dialogue was not like normal to me. Like nobody says implore.
I guess for me, I did forget a lot of the times. I kept thinking catharsis was the AI one. But I think that's mainly because I was so focused on trying to get the lines right and trying to get my like character right that I just continuously forgot where I was. Yeah, it was kind of difficult, but it didn't really matter to me which one was the AI. It was kind of just get your lines down, get your character down. That's how it was for me.
Yes.
Sorry, I felt myself as a baby among so many experienced people, and then she dropped the floor and I felt so old at the same time. I picked the point because as he said, the perfectness, the smoothness, right? And I teach people how to work with social media, how to start a business, and most of them are beginners. And I have clients that are pretty much, I want to create, and I coach them to say, okay, this material was created without AI. Others, they become so flat and I have no idea what to do. But I think my point at experiencing this and training these people, I think the idea is humanity is getting tired of the perfectness, the smoothness. So when they come up to Chat GPT and Chat GPT give like a 30-day content idea calendar, what I tell them is to get the idea and put in the script imperfections. Filter the idea and put your experiences and let people know. Because this is also a door to open up and show imperfectness. And I think that's where the goal is, right? The emotion, the feelings. I don't know if the Dupont, if it was played by an old man who was actually really divorced, maybe it would trick us, right? Because of the emotion, the correlation to that. But I think putting the imperfectionist in the script makes a whole difference. And I think we have humanity has a way to counteract. I think we're getting tired of the perfect thing and the smoothness. Yeah. So I think we are finding our way back to creating a relationship.
Interesting.
The word smooth has come up quite a few times here. And I have to point to you again, because at some point I have to ask, at what point were you satisfied with what you got? As opposed to saying, this is too pat.
That's actually
this is
really
not nuanced.
Yeah.
No, the old man doesn't say this. Can you go back and rethink? So I don't know how many, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I did. I'll be honest with you. I
I
didn't want to get too far into it because I honestly felt that if I had continued, okay, so here's one of my issues with AI, because I do have we've all used it, right? I'm guilty as charged, 100%, right? And I'll often use it to collaborate and bounce ideas back and forth when I've got something that I already know what I want to do, but I need to, nobody else is around, so I'll talk with it and be like, what do you think about this? And what about this? If I do this and that. And usually they're extremely complimentary. They're like, you're an amazing writer. What an incredible thing you just wrote, even though it's garbage. But the idea, I found I was feeling as though if I was giving it too many corrections, it would become it would defeat the purpose of the exercise. I wanted it to be as much its own thing as I could. So I gave the initial prompt, it asked me a series of questions, I answered those questions, it gave me a script, and I left it there. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's not what we're going to do.
No, absolutely. No, if I was trying to actually write a full script with it, the chances are I've already got the idea of the story inside of my head.
Yes.
And I would probably be knocking my head up against the wall trying to get Chat GPT or whatever, the AI, to write what it is I want it to write, instead of just, which at the end of, because I've done this with different artwork as well. Like if I've got a poster idea, at first you're like, hey, I think I might try something like this, and it'll come up with something just ridiculous. I'm like, what the hell? No, what the hell? What are you even thinking? And then it'll do it, and then I realize I already know what I want it to look like. I have the artistic vision in my head. I may as well just draw it, right, or sketch it out, and do it that way, rather than trying to convince an artificial intelligence to do what I'm already wanting to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can Chat, I don't have any experience with this whatsoever. Can Chat follow through on a concept and finish it for you? Like, I have lots of ideas for plays, and I always find the hardest part of writing a play is coming up with an ending. I'm great at first scenes. But how does it end? What's the end? So if I feed in all that information, will it feed me the answer to what the ending should be for that play?
And you can use other ones. Like, don't just use Chat GPT, but then you might go to another one and challenge it, run that script by it.
Right, yeah. But it will kind of assume, it will follow through and go, the ending might go this way.
Yeah.
But the thing you should know,
I get 40 options.
and the thing you should know is that if you put your play into Chat GPT, it then can use it to help someone else write a play. It's like keeping everything you give it, right? Which is, there's a disclaimer on there, like say you're writing a legal letter of some kind, it will tell you not to put in personal names or information because it is actually keeping everything.
Right.
We can command it.
Word up there is.
Before I ask the question, I want to ask, no prompts. No, writing's hard.
I feel like you just got smacked when you rolled up.
Work it out. This is for the playwright. Thanks, Stu. Hi, very cool play. When you were given this idea, did you know that you were competing against an AI thing?
No.
And this was just a play that you wrote. Okay, that's important to me. Thank you. I wanted to make that clear that this wasn't something that you had written in response to this idea. Okay, thank you.
But I think it was a cool idea that someone came up with earlier, that maybe next year you find the first found play.
I love it. Yeah,
and then
I love
you give
that.
the prompt to a playwright and you give the prompt to ChatGPT and then let's.
Yeah, if everybody comes with the same prompt, I think that would
Like the first line is the same or something, right?
Yeah.
And where do we go?
It's the same amount of corrections of the prompt. Because you said you gave 2 prompts, right?
Yeah.
And how many months it took for this play to be edited, and so maybe having the same amount of corrections through, I don't know, I think it would be nice to see.
It would be fascinating. We will do another one next year. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to say thank you very much to Jay and to colloquiums next term, and we'll see you in the back.
all think about on the drive or walk home. A big topic in the arts, and of course a big topic in academia as well, across the disciplines. This is a bit of a celebration of information being shared, and a bit of a conundrum too, in education and post-secondary. So thanks to this whole team for putting this colloquium together. Craig Taylor also, you really deserve a nod of our heads as well. Craig is our playwriting instructor, and so was part of this production. You're so good at applauding. Get ready, you get to do it again. Asher Ang, good job. Committee, of course, and our acting Dean of Arts and Humanities have mentioned. We couldn't do this without the support of everyone here at Vancouver Island University. There's a lot of wonderful academic research and creative thought being done on campus, and it's a real pleasure to motivate students especially to get involved, because this is a wonderful mentorship opportunity so that our students see how excited the faculty are at learning and growing and developing skills and thinking about tough questions. So if you're interested in all of this, please come out to the next Arts and Humanities Colloquium. We have a wonderful colleague in media studies. Deborah Pentecost is going to be presenting visual expressions of community, connections, and home. This is the title of Deb's research on a community advocacy topic from her co-op experience in Vancouver. And the presentation is in a photo voice format, which means that photography helps to propel the narrative as well as the research on this particular topic. So that'll be a wonderful event at 10 a.m. right back here at Malaspina Theatre. We'll see you on February 13th. And before then, have a lovely little snack in the lobby and some further conversation, and get studying for your exams, students. Thank you.
But this is I like the nature it's just this becomes nobody needs to go good at it. It's like I haven't Oh, my pleasure. But let's do this.